It is a terrible ruling for the rule of law and for Americans' confidence in the integrity of the courts and of the Justice Department.
Well, I'm sure there's some head scratching going on right now at FBI headquarters as to how to proceed here, because it's a nonsensical decision.
There's so many outrageous and stupid, frankly, pieces of this decision. I mean, it's remarkable because you never thought there'd be something worse than her last decision, and this actually topped it.
The reality-based legal world continues to pile on Trump-appointed Judge Aileen Cannon for her latest unprecedented ruling, which blocks the FBI from continuing its investigation into Donald Trump's apparent theft of classified documents and appointing a special master to review the thousands of documents seized from Trump's Florida retirement home, including the 100 classified ones, even though there really isn't a question that the classified ones, at the very least, belong to the U.S. government by definition. The Department of Justice is expected to appeal Cannon's ruling, but even now we're learning more about the deception by Trump and his allies. The Washington Post reports, quote, months before National Archives officials retrieved hundreds of classified documents in 15 boxes from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club, they were told that none of the material was sensitive or classified and that Trump only had 12 boxes of, quote, news clippings. That happened last September. They've been lying about what Trump took for over a year at least. Congressman Eric Swalwell, Democrat of California, served as an impeachment manager in Donald Trump's second impeachment trial for inciting the insurrection, and he joins me now. I mean, Congressman, the latest data point we have about the representations they made to the archives is just another in a long line of, 18 months or however long it took to misrepresentations and outright lies about what they had over and over and over and over again. Are you convinced that the FBI has everything that he might have at this point?
No, Chris. And that's why this ruling has extraordinary consequences on the investigation. And that's why I hope the DOJ appeals it as quickly as possible so they can continue their investigation. Because if you play this out, look, the Department of Justice never wanted to make this public. Donald Trump is the one who made the search public. He's the one who started to challenge parts of the search, and he forced their hand, and typically would not prefer as a prosecutor for this type of information about the investigation to be out there. But what do we know about Donald Trump? We know that when he had $300+ million of military aid, he was willing to leverage that to get dirt on his political opponent with the Ukrainians. So if he has top secret documents, certainly on the other side of his possession of that, we would want to know what foreign nationals has he been in contact with, what foreign nationals around Mar-a-Lago has he been in contact with. And that's all suspended now. And that's the real risk here, is that they can't proceed to run that to ground.
What do you make of Lindsey Graham said this a few weeks ago about there's going to be riots in the streets. Donald Trump yesterday saying there's big problems. There seems, this very clear kind of threat, essentially, of what would ensue if the ex-president were to be indicted. What do you make of that?
I see this as a party, a MAGA party, that no longer is confident that they can win elections with votes. And so now they're seeking to enact their political will through violence. They prefer and are more comfortable with violence over voting. And that's what they are telegraphing here as we go into, the midterm elections. And so we have to be very, we have to make sure the FBI continues and the Department of Homeland Security continues to investigate, homegrown domestic extremism groups. I see these threats daily, Chris, and they track with what Donald Trump and Lindsey Graham say, and they track with what Kevin McCarthy and other leaders do not say when they could condemn them, but their silence condones it. And so I am very worried that we could reach another flashpoint like January 6th. But it takes responsible Republicans to unify and speak out against that. Otherwise, everyday MAGA Americans will see it as a permissive lane, a green light, if you will, to commit violence.
There's also more reporting that Mark Meadows is in the middle of all this, and he was one of the people representing that there was nothing there. There's also been news that he was subpoenaed by that grand jury out of Washington, D.C. Meadows remains sort of a strange figure, a kind of black hole in the center of this whole thing. Do you have a theory of what the deal is with Mark Meadows, who you served with in the U.S. Congress?
I remember him as being somebody who wanted to be liked by everybody. So it doesn't surprise me that he wants to please Donald Trump, but also wants to honor the subpoena and turn over text messages and make sure that, as far as in the mainstream media, he's still regarded with a good reputation. And so because he has no core set of values, he kind of finds himself, stretched in so many different ways. But he is a hub, so to speak, in that he interacted with Donald Trump. He interacted with Rudy Giuliani and many of, the outside groups. And so he knows a lot about what happened. And so if we can get all of these text messages from him, and if the Department of Justice can, whether it's the committee or the DOJ, we're certainly going to learn a lot about what the president did or did not do on that day.
That's actually quite clarifying, that theory. I mean, someone who doesn't want to have to choose in a moment of choosing. That makes a lot of his behavior make a lot more sense, Congressman.
I saw that all too often. We got elected at the same time, and yeah, that was 10 years of observation.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Congressman. Still ahead, even more Republican candidates try and rid themselves of the Trump stain, but is pretending to be a moderate for the next 7 weeks enough to fool the voters? Next.
Like so many refugees to this country, these Afghan refugees are happy to be here. These people have been thrown into incredibly daunting situations. They've lost everything, yet they are grateful to be in this land of opportunity. Immigrants and refugees remind us that at its best, America is a place where if you work hard and get a fair stab at an education, you can grow a business, get elected to public office, become anything you want to be. These Afghans will be better off by being in America, and America will be better off for them.
Whether it's the politics of climate change, the effects of marijuana laws, or the challenges of racial injustice, get your daily dose of enlightening articles at MSNBC Daily. Written perspectives by people you know and trust, like Alicia Menendez, Mehdi Hassan, and Frank Figliuzzi, along with a growing list of experts offering their insights. Plus, a fresh take every morning from me, Hayes Brown. Start your day with MSNBC Daily at msnbc.com.
Voting rights will be a priority for this White House, which to this point, it really hasn't been, despite a few fiery speeches.
Joe Biden said when he won, Black America, you had my back, I will have yours. There's nothing more fundamental to having our back than voting rights.
And on that front, Rev, he has to make it the priority. Everything needs to